Justin Timberlake, from pop icon to the collapse no one saw coming. What happens when two completely different Hollywood stories collide? One is about Justin Timberlake, the golden boy of pop music whose rise and shocking collapse nobody saw coming. The other is about Burt Lancaster, a legendary actor who, at 80 years old, revealed the 7 most evil actors in Hollywood. Together, they expose fame's darkest truths. Part 1. Justin Timberlake, from pop icon to collapse. The fairy tale beginning. Justin Timberlake's story started like something out of a movie. Born in Memphis, Tennessee, his first taste of stardom came on the Mickey Mouse Club in the early 1990s. Alongside future stars like Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, and Ryan Gosling, Timberlake was already standing out as a natural entertainer. By the late 90s, he became the face of NSYNC, one of the biggest boy bands of all time. With hits like Tearing Up My Heart and Bye Bye Bye, the group dominated charts worldwide. Timberlake quickly became the breakout star, adored for his curly blonde hair, smooth vocals, and infectious stage presence. The solo superstar. In 2002, Timberlake reinvented himself as a solo artist with his debut album, Justified. Songs like Cry Me a River and Rock Your Body not only topped charts, but also proved he wasn't just another boy band product, he was a serious musician. Over the next decade, he released chart-topping albums like Future Sex Love Sounds and the 2020 Experience. Tracks like Sexy Back, My Love, and Mirrors cemented him as a pop legend. Timberlake even crossed into acting with acclaimed performances in films like The Social Network. For years, he was considered unstoppable. Music, movies, fashion, and business. He had it all. The image of the golden boy. Timberlake's public image was carefully crafted. He was funny, charming, talented, and versatile. He was a host of Saturday Night Live, a Grammy and Emmy winner, and a seemingly perfect husband to actress Jessica Biel. But as we all know, images can crack. And behind the shine, trouble was brewing. The Janet Jackson Super Bowl scandal. In 2004, Timberlake performed at the Super Bowl halftime show with Janet Jackson. What should have been a career highlight turned into disaster when the infamous wardrobe malfunction happened. Janet Jackson's career took the fall, blacklisted from radio and television. Meanwhile, Timberlake largely escaped blame and continued to rise. Many critics and fans accused him of abandoning Jackson to protect his own image. That moment, long ignored, would later come back to haunt him. The Britney Spears controversy. Perhaps the most defining controversy of Timberlake's early career was his breakup with Britney Spears. Once considered the ultimate pop couple, their split became tabloid gold. Timberlake released Cry Me a River, which heavily implied Britney had cheated. The song and its video catapulted him further into stardom, but at Britney's expense. She faced years of public shaming, while Timberlake gained sympathy and fame. Decades later, during the Murshir Ashram Free Britney movement, many fans re-examined this period and blamed Timberlake for exploiting Britney's downfall. The decline begins. By the 2000s, Timberlake's dominance began to fade. His 2018 Super Bowl performance was widely criticized as underwhelming. His album Man of the Woods failed to connect with audiences. Then came personal scandals. In 2019, paparazzi photos surfaced of him behaving inappropriately with a co-star, despite being married to Jessica Biel. Though he apologized, the damage to his image deepened. The collapse nobody saw coming. By the 2020s, Timberlake's reputation had shifted completely. Documentaries like Framing Britney Spears and Malfunction, the dressing down of Janet Jackson reignited criticism of Timberlake's past behavior. Social media amplified the backlash. Younger audiences, who once idolized him, now labeled him as opportunistic and unfair toward women. Concert tours underperformed, new music failed to dominate, and his once untouchable image was in ruins. For a man once seen as the perfect pop icon, Timberlake's downfall was a reminder of how quickly public opinion can turn. Part 2. Burt Lancaster's Hollywood revelation. While Timberlake's story shows how modern fame can collapse, decades earlier, another legend revealed Hollywood's darker side. At age 80, Burt Lancaster, one of the greatest actors of all time, shocked the world by exposing 7 actors he called the most evil in Hollywood. Lancaster wasn't gossiping, he was speaking from experience. With films like From Here to Eternity and Elmer Gantry, he had worked alongside legends and seen Hollywood's shadows up close. By 80, he had nothing to lose, and his words carried the weight of truth. Here's who he named. 1. Kirk Douglas. Lancaster claimed Kirk Douglas, his rival and occasional co-star, was driven by ruthless ambition. On screen, Douglas was heroic in films like Spartacus. Off-screen, Lancaster described him as manipulative, willing to sabotage colleagues and bend directors to his will. His charm, Lancaster said, hid a dangerously cold ambition. 2. Tony Curtis. The beloved star of Some Like It Hot, Tony Curtis was adored for his looks and charisma. But Lancaster painted a darker picture. He claimed Curtis was arrogant, dismissive, and cruel behind closed doors. The smiling star that fans adored was, according to Lancaster, nothing but an illusion. 3. Frank Sinatra. Sinatra was one of the most powerful entertainers of his time, but Lancaster's revelation focused on his abuse of power. With alleged mob ties, Sinatra wielded influence to silence critics and secure roles. To Lancaster, Sinatra symbolized how fame and intimidation could merge into something sinister. 4. Laurence Olivier. Revered as one of the greatest actors of all time, Laurence Olivier was untouchable in the public eye. Yet Lancaster claimed he was arrogant and belittling toward younger actors. He treated others as inferiors rather than equals, using his genius as a shield for cruelty. 5. Robert Mitchum. The rugged star of Cape Fear and countless film noirs, Robert Mitchum embodied toughness. But Lancaster said his indifference was real, not just an act. He was dismissive, cold, and lacked empathy, qualities that Lancaster believed made him truly dangerous. 6. Marlon Brando. The most shocking inclusion was Marlon Brando. Hailed as a revolutionary actor, Brando changed Hollywood forever. Yet Lancaster described him as manipulative, self-destructive, and cruel. He allegedly mistreated women, abandoned friends, and used people when convenient. Brando's brilliance, Lancaster argued, was matched only by his darkness. 7. Errol Flynn. The swashbuckling star of Robin Hood seemed like Hollywood's ultimate hero. But Lancaster said Flynn was one of the most corrupt men in the business. Reckless, scandalous, and morally bankrupt. He embodied the excess and abuse of old Hollywood. 2 stories, 1 truth. Justin Timberlake's fall from grace and Burt Lancaster's Hollywood confession may seem unrelated, but they share the same truth. In entertainment, image and reality rarely align. Timberlake's carefully crafted image crumbled when past actions resurfaced. Lancaster's list revealed that even Hollywood's most celebrated legends carried shadows. Both stories show that behind the glamour, power, and fame, darkness often hides in plain sight. Conclusion. Justin Timberlake's collapse reminds us how quickly the world can turn on its icons. Burt Lancaster's confession reminds us that Hollywood has always hidden dangerous egos behind its golden curtain. Together, these stories show us that fame is fragile, reputations are temporary, and truth has a way of catching up, whether in the 1950s or the 2020s. So what do you think? Was Justin Timberlake unfairly judged, or did his past finally catch up to him? And do you believe Burt Lancaster's shocking list of the 7 most evil actors in Hollywood? Share your thoughts below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more untold Hollywood stories.